So, PT, what does it mean? Now, for me personally, I prefer just calling him a coach. So, what is a PT? A PT is technically someone you employ to help you with your goals, essentially. So, whether that's to lose weight, build muscle, become fitter, anything, you employ someone to help you out. Are PTs worth it? That is the question. Because, let's be honest, PTs or most PTs aren't the cheapest, but are they worth it? And to be honest, personally, I would say yeah, if you go to the right one. Now, that's not me taking a dig at any PTs, but some PTs have the results to show, the results to back up what they're selling. Now, have I ever had a PT? And that answer is yes, I've actually had two. So me, I have worked with Craig at Team Anvil and also Harry. So when I wanted to put on strength, put on size, I was with Craig at Team Anvil. The goal, as I said, was put on strength, put on size and feel better about myself. Now, for me personally, I done online coaching because I felt in the gym, form-wise and exercise-wise, I was okay. But as a lot of PTs do, Craig offered one-to-one coaching, semi-private coaching and online coaching. For me, online coaching was my preferred choice. So, what actually consisted of online coaching? So for me, with Craig, it was a programme in my macros worked out. Now, the way I say that is, oh, he's only gave you two things. No, right, trust me, he gave me a lot more than that. These are just two of the headers I would use, programme and macros. Let's start off with the programme. So, it speaks for itself. It was an 8-week programme, or 2 4-week programmes should I say. This was made up of 5 days of intense training to get me where I wanted to be goal-wise. But it wasn't just a programme he gave me. I mean, online coaching, Craig was brilliant. I would film everything that I was doing. I was sent to Craig, even though my form was okay. He was still there to say, oh, you can do this better, or try this, try that. And it was brilliant, so it was. So, programme-wise, value for money. So, moving on to the macro side of it, in case anyone doesn't know what macros are, these are pretty much your carbs, fats and protein intake for the day. Off the top of my head, I can't actually remember what my macros were, but I was getting, for example, a gram of protein every pound of body weight I had, so I think it was sitting up at like 200. And this would increase, obviously my calories were increasing and all. But for me personally, the good thing about Craig was he didn't give me a meal plan. A lot of PTs do that, and if that works for you, then fair enough, but me being a fussy eater, that didn't work for me. So Craig just said to me, here's your macros, eat what you want and make sure it fits into your macros, which for me was perfect. Now, I was on a bulk obviously, so it wasn't just plain chicken, plain rice every time. Now, to be honest, I probably could have been a bit more stricter with my diet, so to speak, but it was a bulk. I was like, I just want to get the macros in some days, so I was eating junk food some of the time. But the results speak for itself. I mean, the numbers I started with before I went to Craig and then the numbers I achieved in just such a short space of time was incredible. Now, I'm not going to post them here because you've seen them all before, but my current PBs were down to the training I've done with Craig. So the 117.5 bench, 175 squat, 200 deadlifts. That was all down to what Craig gave me, but also obviously my levels of effort. Because with a PT, they can only do so much for you. They can only give you the programme, the macros, but it's then up to you to go and actually put in the work and get the results. They can't do the work for you. They will assist you, but it's all down to you pretty much. The way I see it is like a teacher. A teacher teaches you in school, but then when it comes to the test, they can't help you. A PT gives you the resources you need, and it's then up to you to go and use them. And for me, I'd say I used them pretty well. So, is Craig value for money? Definitely. Now, moving on to Harry. I changed to Harry when I wanted to cut down and get a bit leaner. Again, online coaching with Harry, was given a programme, was given a macros. But for Harry, he gave me a food plan, which at first I was like, I don't know, because I'm a bit fussy. But the thing with Harry was that he then allowed me to say, right, what do you eat for breakfast? What do you eat for lunch, dinner, snacks? And then the foods I gave him, he then worked that out, which was brilliant. Because I'm sure there's some PTs out there, and again, it's not a dig, but they'll probably just give you a generic food plan that doesn't suit you. But with Harry, as I said, the food plan at first was a bit, when he mentioned a food plan, I was like, I don't know, because I'm a fussy eater. I'm like, oh my god, I'm not going to be able to eat the things he's telling me to eat. But that wasn't the case at all. He tailored it to what I like, and he fitted it with my macros, which was brilliant. The only downside was I didn't get to work with Harry enough. Near I did. I started working with Harry just before the very first lockdown, back in March, and gyms were shut. So, could have went places, but it's not yet. Do I plan on going back to Harry at some time? Definitely. I mean, the results speak for himself. The way I came across him was, it was actually my cousin Rebecca who was training with him. And seeing, obviously, her results and then the results of his other clients, I was like, get me on this. I need this. Because I was starting to put on the weight again. I was being half-arsed with the gym and I needed to do something, so I went to Harry. I'd say I've got quite lucky with PTs because although it's only two I've been with, they've been two of the best, I'd say, with the results. Do I highly recommend them? Indeed. As I said before, I was online coaching, but they do offer other types of coaching. And that's good for a PT because you're not just limited to the one thing. And especially now with obviously lockdown and people having to do home workouts, and like I know Craig's been giving out equipment, Harry's been doing like Zoom classes and stuff, so they too have adapted, which is brilliant to see. So moving on to why I want to become a PT, and to be honest, I love the gym, I love helping people, so it makes sense, doesn't it? And to be honest, I love the gym, I love helping people, so it makes sense, doesn't it? Which is why I have sort of used my friend as a sort of guinea pig to see how much I know. Now, I'd say I'm fairly clued up with the gym, but for me to sit here and be like, oh, I know it all, it'd be stupid, because as I've said in previous videos, no one knows it all. If you think that, you're delusional. If you don't want to learn, then. So, my pal Lawrence, he's been on and off at the gym for a while. He's always been a fairly skinnier sort of guy, so he wanted to obviously bulk up, put on some size, put on some mass. So Lawrence came to me just for assistance, so I gave him his program, his macros, and it's a 6 week he's running it for, so hopefully by the end of that he's put on some mass, some muscles, some strength, and we'll see how it goes. Now this is completely free of charge, like I'm not charging him or anything, because again, I'm not qualified. What I've gave him could be utter horseshit, like it could just not work at all. I don't think it will, but I'd say, again, I'm fairly clued up, but you just never know. So this was obviously me seeing how much I know before I go into actually start getting the qualification in 2021. So as I said, Lawrence has his macros, his program. It's now down to him, the same way it was down to me when I was working with Craig and Harry, to then put in the effort, put in the work and get the results. I've done what I can, so it's now down to him. I'm going to fire in some questions that I asked Lawrence just before we started this. Just generic questions to see where he is at the gym, why he asked me for help, etc, etc. So I shall now add them in now. So as you can see, that is the answers he gave me to the questions. Fairly informative, so I'm just hoping that he'll stick at it. I'm here for advice anytime he wants. He's lucky he's through in Edinburgh right now, so obviously the day of filming this, the gyms have just reopened here, but he's been opened throughout, obviously, the time that Glasgow's been locked down, so he's been able to hit the gym. I'm hoping he's putting in the work to get the progress, because I believe he can do it. His goal is obviously to put on strength and size, which I believe with the right consistency he'll be able to achieve easily. I look forward to seeing his results, so I do, because obviously it gives me an indication of how well I know, and it gives him an indication also of how well he's doing and how much work he's actually putting in. For example, if people are losing weight and they're constantly on the scales and they're moving up and down and left and right, it can be really disheartening. For me, whether I'm losing weight or trying to gain weight, I more look at the progress pictures, so I do. So I take photos of myself and I sit and look at them, right, your arm looks bigger or your belly fat's decreasing or this and that. Like, I go through that. I do use the scales, but that's not my main focal point. I'm more into taking photos and seeing the progress that way rather than jumping on the scales and getting this reading and that reading, which can be really inconsistent. Personally, if I'm weighing myself, I weigh myself every day, add that up and then divide it by 7, that gives me the average weight of the week. So yeah, 2021, hopefully I'm going to become a PT. Hopefully we'll be able to PT some of you if you need any help. Again, I'm not qualified, as you know. I was hoping to get qualified this year, but coronavirus, all that, just delayed everything. So next year is the year, hopefully we get qualified. But as I said, if anyone needs any help, just hit me up. I'll try my best to help yous. Again, I don't know everything. I will try my very best to help yous. I'll do what I can. Don't be scared, whether it's in the gym, Instagram, Facebook, whatever. Drop me a message, approach me. Obviously, in the gym with the distance and all that. But yeah, don't be scared to approach. I'm here. I'd say I'm a fairly alright guy, so I'm not going to bite your head off. So, another video done. Thanks again for the support, it's been class. This has been a video on PT, and I shall see yous next week.